Welcome back, WW3 News. Emergency services now and then do drills or exercises to test the efficiency of emergency services in a determined situation of emergency. And this last, not least, tomorrow, Viterbo, which is an hour's drive from Rome in Italy. They'll be testing an emergency service, simulating a so-called outbreak of a virus. And, in recent times, there's been a lot of these so-called drills now and there. What's behind these drills? How to respond to a so-called pandemic health emergency. Because if it's one of those horrible bugs which could be lethal or deadly or extremely contagious, there's not much you can do about it. To put people in quarantine or try to contain the outbreaks of a certain thing in a certain area, wherever it is in the world, if it gets out of hands, could even pass into military hands. We've all seen films about the sudden pandemic outbreaks, how society collapses, and when a thing comes out of control. I think 5 years ago, we have a bit of experience of it. But the only problem is, that thing of 5 years ago wasn't so lethal as they wanted to tell us. That was basically a test if people are complicit to a certain narrative, which some countries they kick back, some countries they're complicit straight away to bow down. That's what probably is all about. If there's a real outbreak of a virus, and we're talking a death rate of a certain percentage, there is no cure, it goes out of control and it hits the mass of the population. I think everyone's for themselves, really, like all type of emergencies. You'd be left to to deal with it with yourself, basically. And when they do these drills and exercise, something always happens. 2019 America, down the vast scale thing of FEMA. And amazingly, it was an outbreak of a deadly virus. Then in the 2020, around about February, March, it was declared a global emergency, lockdowns and all this stuff. So if they start doing this type of shit, they're probably cooking up something for us this time round, despite usual people haven't got an absolute foggiest idea what's really behind these things, because it's not normal. They start doing these type of simulations, drills or exercises of any type, especially of this type. You know, they know something is coming and they don't want to tell us. Like 5 years ago, more or less. And will it be the real McCoy? Or another phantomatic pandemic they want to push? You know, these powers of be, whatever they are, you simply cannot trust them. They lie to you, and you're the last person to be considered on the list. Like in all emergencies, the government's going to start rolling out contingency plans, stocking up for certain emergencies. Governments go in secret, locations, bunkers, which most, for example, the Trump administration, most of its public officials, those high-ranking ones, their families are located in military bases. You got to ask them, wonder why you do a thing like that, or you fear for something which is going to come in along, which is probably man-made, that's for sure. Or is it, like I mentioned in the other video, when the shit hits the fan, people like in the French Revolution, they would go after them.